Welcome to this session on chemistry of 3D metals. This is second part. Already in first part we have discussed general characteristics of 3D metals, transition metals and special properties like color, magnetism, catalytic properties. In this session we are going to discuss few important compounds of certain 3D metals. At the end of the session one will be able to understand preparation and properties of potassium dichromate, peroxo compounds of chromium, preparation and properties of potassium permanganate, preparation and properties of potassium ferrocyanide and potassium ferricyanide, preparation of sodium nitroprusside and its use as an analytical reagent, preparation of cobalt hexaamine chloride, preparation of sodium cobalt nitride and its use as analytical reagent. In previous lecture we have discussed about transition metals, what are the metals in 3D series, what are their possible oxidation states, what are their electronic configurations. Now we will study about these four metals, their electronic configurations, oxidation states and few important compounds of these four metals. Oxidation state, chromium, manganese, ferrous, cobalt, these four elements we are going to study their compounds. Let us start with chromium. Chromium electronic configuration 3d5 4s1. Based on the number of electrons those can be lost from different orbitals, possible oxidation states chromium can exhibit are from -2 to +6. But chromium in oxidation states +2, +3 and +6 are well known. These are stable compounds. Chromium +2 is reducing, chromium 3+ is highly stable and chromium +6 is strongly oxidizing in nature. Chromium +6 compounds are chromates, dichromates, chromic acids and oxohalides of chromium. We are particularly focusing on potassium dichromate, its preparation and its use. Potassium dichromate is prepared from chromite ore, which is one of the major chromium containing mineral that can be represented as ApO.Cr2O3, that can also be written as ApCr2O4, where iron is in +2 oxidation state and chromium is in +3 oxidation state. So this is analogous to magnetite Fe3O4, where one of the iron atom is in +2 oxidation state and another iron is in +3 oxidation state. So how potassium dichromate is prepared from chromite ore? This in first step, this chromite ore is digested in presence of sodium carbonate in excess air to give sodium chromate. This is the reaction. This is chromite ore mixed with sodium carbonate in presence of excess oxygen that gives sodium chromate. This is the first step. In second step, acidification of this sodium chromate gives rise to sodium dichromate. And in third step, the sodium dichromate when treated with potassium chloride, that gives potassium dichromate. So this is how potassium dichromate can be prepared from chromite ore. Here is one of the scanning electron microscopic images of chromite ore. Let us see the diagrammatical representation of the procedure of preparation of potassium dichromate from chromite ore. Chromite ore is digested with sodium carbonate in presence of excess air, and that gives sodium chromate. This sodium chromate is very important. 75% of this sodium chromate is used in steel industries for manufacturing of stainless steels. A good amount of this sodium chromate is also used for making refractory materials, tiles, bricks, etc. 13% of this sodium chromate is used for preparation of potassium dichromate. So this is a useful material. Sodium chromate, when treated with sulfuric acid, that gives sodium dichromate. This is in liquid form, and this when mixed with potassium chloride, that gets converted to potassium dichromate, and this is recrystallized in solid form. So all the three steps, their reactions are written here. First step, chromite is digested with sodium carbonate in air, that gives sodium chromate. Second step, acidification of sodium chromate to dichromate. Third step, dichromate on treatment with potassium chloride gives potassium dichromate. So this is what the preparation of potassium dichromate from chromite ore. Potassium dichromate as a reagent. This potassium dichromate is used as strong oxidizing agent in volumetric analysis, where chromium is in +6 oxidation states, gets reduced to +3 while oxidizing the other species. The well-known example is more salt and dichromate titration, where iron is converted to oxidized to 3+, ferrous gets oxidized to ferric, and this chromium gets reduced from +6 to +3. So this is a well-known oxidizing agent in acidic medium. Another use of chromyl chloride as reagent is in qualitative analysis of chloride. The test is known as chromyl chloride test. What do we do there? We take solid mixture, add solid potassium dichromate and add concentrated H2SO4 and warm the mixture. As a result, this chromyl chloride gas is evolved, and this chromyl chloride gas is allowed to pass through sodium hydroxide that produces sodium chromate. And in final step, sodium chromate is acidified using acetic acid, and then on addition of lead acetate, that gives yellow precipitate of lead chromate, that gives a confirmation of presence of chloride in mixture. So that's how potassium dichromate is used in chromyl chloride test for qualitative analysis of chloride. Potassium dichromate is used as a primary standard. Its counterpart, sodium dichromate, being hygroscopic, potassium dichromate is preferred. Peroxo compounds of chromium. This chromium can form compounds with dioxygen in form of peroxo compounds. So this can be formed by reacting hydrogen peroxide with chromium +6 compounds. And this product of these reactions depends on pH of the medium. Above pH 7, tetraperoxo chromate is formed, and on increasing acidity, this chromium 3+ oxidation state is increasingly favored. So let us see the compound of ratio 4:1 of dioxygen ligand to chromium. The red brown anion tetraperoxochromate CrO2 tetraperoxo. O2 is peroxo and 4 times is there, so tetraperoxochromium is made by adding 30% hydrogen peroxide to an alkaline solution of chromate. This can also be prepared from potassium dichromate, When alkaline solution of potassium dichromate is treated with 30% hydrogen peroxide, it forms K3CrO8. This is the potassium salt of this tetraperoxochromium. CrO8 is 4 times O2, so O8. The structure, if you look at here, X-ray crystal structure of this potassium K3CrO8, then at the center you have chromium. This spherical black sphere is the chromium atom, surrounded by 4 peroxo units, dioxygen molecules. You can see 4 peroxo units. The structure is a distorted dodecahedral structure. The compound of ratio 3:1 of dioxygen ligand to chromium, there have been no such compounds reported for chromium. The compound with 2:1 ratio of dioxygen ligands to chromium, that is oxo diperoxochromium plus 6. That's chromium oxo, 1 oxygen, then O2 twice, diperoxo, which is also can be known as CrO5. And this can be prepared by treating chromium plus 6, that's chromate solution, with hydrogen peroxide at pH 7 or lower than pH 7. This HCrO4 minus in acidic medium treated with hydrogen peroxide gives CrO5. This can also be prepared from potassium dichromate by treating hydrogen peroxide to CrO5. This is O2 twice and O, so CrO5. The structure of this is distorted pentagonal pyramid. You look at this structure here, leave this part, this is the pyridine part. This part is Cr, is the black one, is chromium, and this is 1 oxygen, and these are 2 dioxygen units, one peroxide, another peroxide. So this is a distorted pentagonal pyramid structure. In aqueous solution, this color of this is blue violet. Structure is distorted pentagonal pyramid. In aqueous solution, it rapidly decomposes into chromium 3 plus and oxygen. This can be extracted into ether. It forms an adduct with pyridine. So this is the structure of pyridine adduct, which forms a distorted pentagonal pyramid. So pyridine is bonded to chromium. Another compound is diperoxochromium. These are of general formula CrO2 twice and L3. This ligand can be ammonia. So this can form an adduct with ammonia as well. When CrO5 treated with excess ammonia and addition of hydrogen peroxide, it gives CrO2 twice and 3 times ammonia. This is having pentagonal bipyramidal structure. Look at this one, at the center you have chromium atom and 2 peroxide molecules are here with 3 ammonia molecules, 1, 2 and 3. 3 ammonia molecules are bonded to chromium, having pentagonal bipyramidal structure. The compound with 1:1 ratio where dioxygen is 1 and chromium is also 1. So such complex, there are very few such complexes are reported, but no structural details have been reported for this sort of compounds. Monoperoxo species can be formed when this chromium CrO3 is treated with 30% hydrogen peroxide and adding ligands like diethylene diamine, triethylene diamine. So this sort of compound can also be formed. Chromium plus 6 and hydrogen peroxide, when react in acidic medium, they form compounds with chromium 3 plus and cationic complexes and dimeric and trimeric species are reported for this set of compounds. Most of these solid peroxochromates explode when heated, and some have been reported to explode spontaneously at room temperature. So appropriate caution should be used when working with them. Next element is manganese. Electronic configuration is argon 18, 3d5 and 4s2. Based on the number of electrons those can be lost, we can have oxidation states starting from -1 to +7, and this is the if you recall the diagram of variable oxidation state, manganese is the only element among 3d series element that shows a maximum number of oxidation states. But +2 oxidation state is more stable. In this, the electronic configuration is 3d5 and 4s0. Potassium permanganate is a very important reagent of manganese, and its preparation and use we are going to study now. It is prepared from the ore pyrolusite ore, which is mainly manganese oxide, and manganese is in +4 oxidation states. So how is it prepared from? Potassium permanganate is prepared from pyrolusite ore. This pyrolusite is fused with potassium hydroxide and with sufficient amount of oxygen, and that oxidizes manganese from +4 state to +6 state, where we find potassium manganate. And in next step, electrolytic oxidation in alkaline solution further oxidizes potassium manganate to potassium permanganate, where manganese gets oxidized from +6 to +7. So that's how in 2 steps this potassium permanganate is prepared from pyrolusite ore. What are the uses of potassium permanganate? It is used as a oxidizing agent in acidic medium in volumetric analysis, where it gets reduced from +7 oxidation state to +2, exchanging 5 electrons. Alkaline potassium permanganate is used as a permanganate is called Bayer's reagent, and this is used in organic chemistry for test of unsaturation of organic compounds. Potassium permanganate is used in the manufacture of saccharin, ascorbic acid and nicotinic acid. This is also used to oxidize primary alcohol and aldehyde to corresponding carboxylic acid. Potassium permanganate is also used as a disinfectant for treating drinking water. Unlike chlorine, it doesn't leave any unpleasant taste to the water. Potassium permanganate acts as a germicide also. This destroys the organic matter on which germs flourish. This will be useful. Potassium permanganate, how does it behave in acidic, basic and acidic, neutral and basic medium? In acidic medium, this permanganate changes to Mn+2, where number of electrons gets transferred is 5 electrons. So while calculating equivalent weight, we need to divide 5, molecular weight needs to be divided by 5. In neutral medium, permanganate gets changes to MnO4 2-, so number of electrons transferred is exchanged is 1. So while calculating equivalent weight, molecular weight needs to be divided by 1. Similarly, in basic medium, this permanganate gets changed to MnO2, where number of electrons exchanged are 3. So while calculating equivalent weight for potassium permanganate in basic medium, we need to divide molecular weight by 3. Potassium permanganate as a reagent, it is unstable in acidic solution. This decomposes slowly, and this decomposition is catalyzed by sunlight. That is why it is suggested to keep potassium permanganate solution in dark bottles. Next element is iron. Oxidation state is 3d6, argon 18, 3d6 and 4s2, the atomic number being 26. And again, based on the possible number of electrons those can be lost from different orbitals, it can exhibit oxidation state from 0 to +6. But most commonly observed oxidation states are iron +2 and iron +3. Iron +2 is known as ferrous, iron +3 is known as ferric. In +2, electronic configuration is 3d6 after losing 2 electrons from 4s, and in ferric Fe3+, electronic configuration is 3d5. Important complexes we are going to study. One of the very important complex iron 2+ forms is hemoglobin. Of course, in this session we are not going to study this, but in bioinorganic chemistry we will study the chemistry of iron 2+ in hemoglobin, especially in oxygen transport. Then other two compounds is ferrocyanide and ferricyanide we are going to study now. Potassium ferrocyanide, it's potassium hexacyanoferrate, cyanide being negatively charged, so there are 6 negative charge. So on iron you have +2 oxidation state, so -6 +2 you have -4, so K +4 you have K4 ApCN6 is the compound. An octahedral compound having iron at the center with oxidation state +2, 6 cyanide ions are coordinated to iron, and this is a yellow colored solid. How is it prepared? This potassium ferrocyanide can be prepared by boiling aqueous solution of potassium and sodium cyanide with finely divided iron compounds. There can be other methods as well. When alkaline aqueous solution of ferrous salts are treated with hydrogen cyanide and ammonium cyanide, those also form ferrocyanide. Industrial preparation of potassium ferrocyanide involves a mixture of sodium cyanide and calcium cyanide are heated with ferrous sulfate in solution to give sodium and calcium ferrocyanides, and then potassium chloride is added to the double salt of potassium calcium ferrocyanide to give sodium chloride is added to this sodium and calcium ferrocyanides to give double salt of potassium calcium ferrocyanide. And when this potassium calcium ferrocyanide is heated with potassium carbonate, that gives potassium ferrocyanide. Next compound is potassium ferricyanide, where iron is in +3 oxidation state, the octahedral geometry, iron at the center, and 6 cyanide ions are coordinated to iron 3+. And this is a red color crystal. This can be prepared by passing chlorine gas to potassium ferrocyanide. When potassium ferrocyanide is treated with iron 2+ ferrous salts, this produces a compound where iron is having oxidation state outside the coordination sphere +2 and inside the coordination sphere +2. So this gives a white precipitate. But when ferric compound are treated, ferric salts are treated with potassium ferrocyanide, it gives potassium ferricyanide, and that's called Prussian blue. This is the Prussian blue looks like. This is how. When ferrous salt is mixed with potassium ferricyanide, then it gives potassium ferroferricyanide, which is called Turnbull's blue. The intense blue color in both these compounds arises from electron transfer between iron +2 and iron +3, and these are called mixed valence compounds because the metal is in mixed valence states. Another important compound can be prepared from potassium ferrocyanide is if one of the cyanide groups is replaced by NO+, then it gives nitroso-pentacyanoferrate 2, which when reacts with sodium plus, it forms a salt which is called sodium nitroso-pentacyanoferrate 2, which is usually called as sodium nitroprusside. The sodium nitroprusside can be prepared from potassium ferrocyanide with nitric acid and with nitrite as well. So this is how the chemical reaction takes place when potassium ferrocyanide treated with nitric acid and further in second step treated with sodium carbonate, that gives sodium nitroprusside. With nitrite, sodium ferrocyanide gives sodium nitroprusside. This is used as a analytical reagent to test sulfide in qualitative analysis. This gives a purple color complex which confirms the presence of sulfide. The reaction is like this, it reacts with sulfide to give this compound. Next element is cobalt. The oxidation state, the electronic configuration is argon 18, 3d7 and 4s2. Again, based on the number of electrons, those can be lost from different orbitals. The oxidation states are from -1 to +4, but the most common oxidation states of cobalt are +2 and +3. In +2 it is cobaltous, +3 it is cobaltic, +2 electronic configuration is 3d7, +3 electronic configuration is 3d6. We'll study few compounds of cobalt. One of them is cobalt hexaimine cobalt 3 chloride. Cobalt is in +3 oxidation state in this, so configuration is 3d7 and the geometry is octahedral. The cobalt ion is at the center and there are 6 ammonia are coordinated to cobalt. This cobalt cobalt hexaimine in cobaltous state can be oxidized to cobaltic state by just passing air. This cobalt hexaimine can be prepared from cobaltous chloride by treating with ammonium chloride and ammonia in presence of this oxidizing agent hydrogen peroxide. That gives hexaimine cobalt 3 chloride. In order to understand in order to get an idea about this bonding of these chloride ions in cobalt hexaimine, so we can react it with silver nitrate. It gives 3 moles, it consumes 3 moles of silver nitrate to give 3 moles of silver chloride precipitates. That suggests all the chloride ions are outside the coordination sphere and they are in chloride form. But this cobalt with 6 ammonia and 3 chloride can be arranged in different way based on how many number of chloride ions are there outside the coordination sphere. That can be also checked by adding silver nitrate into it. Let's say this example I have said these 3 chloride ions are outside the coordination sphere, so this will react with 3 moles of silver nitrate to give 3 moles of silver chloride precipitates. But if one of the ammonia is replaced by one of the chloride ions from outside the coordination sphere, then outside the coordination sphere we have 2 chloride ions are left. So this will react with only 2 moles of silver nitrate and that will give you 2 moles of silver chloride. Similarly, if 2 molecules of ammonia are replaced by 2 chloride ions, then only 1 chloride is left outside the coordination sphere and that will react with only 1 mole of silver nitrate to give 1 mole of silver chloride precipitate. If all the 3 ammonia molecules are replaced by 3 chloride ions and all the 3 chlorine atoms are inside the coordination sphere, then in that case there is no chloride ion left outside the coordination sphere. So this will not react with silver nitrate to give any precipitate. Another important reagent is sodium cobalt nitrite. This is sodium hexanitrite cobaltate 3. So this is octahedral geometry. Cobalt is in 3 plus oxidation state at the center, and these are nitrite are coordinated to cobalt ion. This is a orange color solid, and this is prepared from cobalt nitrate by adding sodium nitrite in acetic acid and oxygen, in presence of oxygen, that gives sodium cobalt nitrite. This sodium cobalt nitrite is a useful reagent in qualitative and quantitative analysis of potassium, that gives yellow precipitate with potassium that forms complex K3CO cobalt 6 nitrites, and this is also called artist's pigment. So these are few important compounds of certain 3D metals we have studied, and in previous session we had studied general characteristics of 3D metals and their properties like color properties, magnetic properties and catalytic properties. So with this we find this is a generic approach to study 3D chemistry of 3D metals. Thank you very much for your attention.